Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond Conditioning, where we like to discuss different topics that we're conditioned to see in one way or understand in one way. But here we like to expand our awareness and see things from a different perspective. Today we are going to discuss guilt. Guilt is a big component or a big emotion that we all have experienced, whether it's due to feeling guilty because we might have lost a loved one and we didn't have those conversations and we didn't open up ourselves to accepting them without the judgment that we put on them. Or you have guilt where your friends might say, well, you're not a real friend if you don't do this. Or your spouse might say, well, you're not a real wife or a husband if you don't do this, that, and the third. So we have guilt in a lot of different ways. It's expressed in a lot of different ways. And a lot of times we don't know how to deal with it other than looking downly on ourselves and just feeling like we should have did better. It's pretty much like self-abandonment, self-betrayal that you feel. I want to discuss removing looking down on yourselves due to the guilt that we might experience in our lives. There comes a time where you might feel like your parents or your caregiver did not show you certain aspects in your life, like emotional or mentally or physically. They didn't show you some things that you feel like you needed in your life, and we hold this resentment or this judgment towards them to where we might not really fully love them like completely. And it don't sometimes until someone gets sick or someone passes away where we experience the guilt of, I should have had those conversations with them. I should have been open with them. I should have not held that judgment against them, because we're not all perfect. You know, you go through your different phases and you realize, like, not only do you have a phase of wanting to judge people, but then you have a phase of, like, understanding, because now you're going through your own journey and you're saying, like, it's not easy. Everybody human, everybody trying to figure out how to navigate every day. And then you go through a phase of, like, you know, you don't have to judge someone because of that. Because you've been through your own phase. I always felt like the best experience, the best teacher is really your own experience, versus it's easy to have people tell you how to go about life or tell you, hey, you need to forgive people because they won't be here for long or whatever the case may be. But a lot of times they go in our ear and go out, or sometimes for some people it does work and they might go and act on it, but for some people it's like it doesn't really register as deeply and as like connected until you kind of go through something. And I've realized that in those moments we can't fight ourselves or diminish our identity or who we are, because we made those decisions in our, you know, life in those phases. We have to accept where we are in each moment. When we feel guilt, we don't hold space for the choices that we made, in accepting that we were at a different, you know, mental place, physical place, or just a different awareness of understanding. And we have to accept where we are, and then on the other side of that, be open to not judging other people, because we don't know where they are. We don't know what journey they're on. We don't know what they're, you know, are being pushed to learn as they're moving through and navigating life as well. Be gentle on yourself. When you have a loved one that might have passed and you feel like you didn't say what you needed to say, or you feel like you judge them harshly, don't use what you know now to go against yourself, because all it's doing is just causing you to abandon yourself, not love yourself, not trust yourself. You have to understand that everybody in a way kind of go through their own phases of things and having to learn and grow and emotionally mature, or having to just accept that we don't need to judge where anybody are in their lives, because we all are trying. We all are just figuring out day by day. So with guilt, like I said, you end up holding it against yourself. You feel down. Like you're gonna do two things with everything in life. You either gonna go down the route of like not feeling good about yourself, not feeling confident in yourself, or just feeling like you don't know what to do with your life. You don't know how to make choices. Or you can stand in the knowing of, yes, I could have been open to accepting these moments or these people or these words or whatever that experience differently. But I accept that I had seen it one way at that point in my life. But now that I have grown, mentally, emotionally, like physically, like awareness wise, that I don't have to beat that part of me up because I didn't move in a different way that now I know I feel like I should have. I'm just trying to get everybody to know, like, you don't have to beat yourself up about it, basically. Like, you were in that moment in that time, and maybe you was in that moment in time to learn this, to learn that you don't have to judge everybody and where they are in their lives. I think the biggest thing that we need to practice is loving each other. Loving ourselves helps us love other people. So when we're judging ourselves and feeling like, oh, I didn't make the right choices, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that, you don't allow that room for other people. So then you go out into the world and you judge them for how they are navigating in that moment. So another example is like with friends or with family or with somebody's like, oh, well, you're not a friend if you don't do this or you should do that, and you go through feeling like you have to walk on eggshells in your life because you feel like everybody got something to say. Like, love your choice. Love that you feel like a friend will say no. Love that you feel like a friend will have your back or, be there for you, do tough moments. But also have that kind of open conversation with people as well. Like, have that balance. Like, have your choices and stand on, like, this is how you defined it in that moment. But also be open enough to know, like, there's other perspectives outside of how I'm viewing it and defining life, that I can have that open conversation with somebody and say, like, it doesn't have to be defensiveness or getting angry at each other because we have these two different views. But hey, can we have that open conversation? Like, what do you feel like a friend is? What do you feel like a relationship wife would be or a husband would be? What do you feel like, having emotional connection with someone is? Like, be open enough to have conversations before you have judgment. That's it. That's the cap of everything that I'm really, like, trying to allow you guys to understand. So with this conversation of me opening up us to talk about guilt, it's just on the other side of guilt is having those open conversations. Like, let's balance it out so that when we continue to navigate life, we're still gonna make choices, we're still gonna feel like this, but you don't have to feel down because of your choices. Because that's where I feel like we're lost in life. Because we feel like, well, everybody says this, everybody defined it this way, so I don't know what to do. No, your way of defining it is okay. It's good. That's where you are. But be open to hearing, because you don't have to take on what they say. You don't have to make that into how you embody it. But you can be open to hearing how somebody else is receiving and defining life on their own. Because we're all defining life in different ways and sometimes in the same ways. But those open conversations helps us figure that out and helps us find out how to navigate it in a better way. I'm not here to, like, make you think that you won't feel guilty. No. I'm just wanting to shine light on the fact that guilt just comes from you feeling like how you handled it wasn't enough. And I just want to say it is. How you handled it was enough for where you were in that moment. There's going to always be a better way. But as long as you are kind of like learning that it is another way to navigate this and like practicing that, so then as you continue to move through life, you kind of like learned that lesson. So you're like, okay, now I'm not going to be so harshly to judge people and where they are. I'm not going to be so easily able to change myself because I feel like my friends or family told me that this is what I should do. Like, no. It's like just finding space for you to be you. Like, we all are navigating this, truthfully. Nobody has the answers. And a lot of times I know we say like our elders or older people have answers. And yes, they might say these things to us. And we might feel like, well, I should have listened. I should have listened. But like I said, sometimes the best teacher is us going through an actual experience. And at the end, I just feel like we're all love, trying to figure out how to re-love each other and ourselves. Because what you feel about yourself projects it out onto the world. So when you don't hold space for yourself, you don't hold space for the world. When you judge yourself because you should have or you could have, you're going to look at everybody else, what they should have did, what they could have did. It's no love. Let's hold space for love. Let's hold space for non-judgment. Because we don't know where nobody are at in their life. Or how they are thinking about it, how they are stressing about it. Like, we don't know. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. You can comment down below your stories of guilt and how you overcame it, or if you have any questions about guilt. Like I've always mentioned, or like I've mentioned before, I'm not here to lead you on how to feel better. I'm not here to give that advice. I'm just here to have those open conversations and just freeing us from having one perspective or one narrative continuously telling us what we're doing wrong or what we could have done, but just finding space to look at it differently, you know? Thanks for watching my video, and I will see you in the next one.